Channel Coach. What's up, everybody? My name is Bryce, and as you can see, I started reading Naruto. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Naruto, a series that taught millions of weebs and nerds how to run, and not only that, it sold a shit ton of copies. It is actually the fourth most selling manga series of all time, selling at 250 million volumes. That is absolutely insane, with a total of 72 volumes in print. This series is a monster that has not taken only the ninja world by storm, but the entire real world by storm, and is now in the home of DubsNotSubs, aka me, because I'm not that big of a channel. I don't think any of you guys would really know who I am. And I don't want the world to see me. But recently, I decided to reread Naruto with one of my friends getting into the anime. I'm so happy to actually have him get into the series because he does not give off the anime vibe, but man, I get him into a series, he's all good. Get him into Seven Deadly Sins, Full Metal Alchemist, and now into this show. It is just insane that I finally got him into things, and as long as there's action and fighting and punching, he's all in, and that's my boy. Love you, Nathan. But that's not what this is about. We're going to get into all about Naruto, what I feel about it, and what I've been doing on this, and I think I'm going to start a new series. We're doing a little bit of a checkpoint as I go throughout this series. Right now, I am in the third test of the tuning exams, if you guys know where I'm at, and I'm going to go through the entire Naruto series and do checkpoints along the way. And I think it'll be a fun little series to redo Naruto, and maybe if you guys want to reread Naruto, I'll put up what chapter I am right now up on the screen somewhere, and then you guys can check it out and then catch up, and we can do a little like read along. It'll be a little fun time, you know. But without further ado, let's get into the story. Before we get into the story, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It means a lot, and it will tell me that you guys enjoy the video and like this kind of stuff. I'm going to be coming a lot more Shonen Jump on the series, just because I really love my Shonen Jump, and I haven't really made a lot of time to talk about it, and with me buying a lot less physical volumes, now's the time to do it, and I'm going to be doing a lot more Shonen Jump kind of content. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and let's get on to the video. So for all of you who are from the village under the rock, Naruto is a series about, well, Naruto. This series follows Naruto Uzumaki, who is an orphan from the village hidden in the leaves. Now, Naruto has a dream, and that is to become the Hokage, which is basically the leader of this village and become the most powerful, most respected ninja of all, because everyone throughout his entire life has just given him absolutely crap and nothing, and he's had to fight for everything on his own, and he's been alone, and all he wants is attention and respect, which is a major part of how his personality gets the way he is, of this proud, cocky, just kid who wants attention. And it's really fun to see him go on this journey to become the Hokage. I love Naruto. I loved reading it or watching it when I was a kid. When I first got into anime, I watched Naruto on Netflix and then finished that, and then never really got into Shippuden. So I decided that now is the perfect time to start reading Naruto with everything going down, and just, you know, get something new under my belt and try Naruto, finally, one of the biggest series of all time. And what I can tell you right now is that I am absolutely loving it. There is so much goodness in this story already, with the first arc with Zabuza and Haku and all these other characters are just so good. Then we got Sasuke, Sakura, which I will get more into the characters later, but man, this story is so well done. All the characters and the pacing and all the development throughout these characters really feel natural. They don't feel like they're being rushed. None of the story feels like it's being forced. It's just really cool how Kishimoto is crafting the story. It's really fun to watch him do what he does, because Naruto, and with his old cocky attitude, telling Sasuke off, Sasuke telling him off, and then Sakura sitting over there in the corner doing absolutely nothing, and Kishimoto just does a perfect job telling this story and making it interesting and keeping new stuff in there, making progression feel natural, not forced, like One Piece with the stupid gear thing. No offense, One Piece. I love One Piece. It's one of my favorite series, but man, the whole gear thing was really snooping to me. It's like, oh, now I got a second gear, now I got third gear, and just like, you just keep leveling up forever, and it's just a huge power scaling thing that really annoys me, and it just doesn't need to be in there. There's a lot more natural of a way that these things can get progressed. And Naruto does a perfect job of this with, you have the Chunins, the Jonins, and then the the different ranks of ninjas, and as they progress, you can see they get better, and their ninja techniques are different, and each one has their own unique style, like Rock Lee and all these other characters, and it's just so cool to see this whole thing happen. Now to arguably one of the best parts about Naruto, the unique characters. Now obviously, as the manga industry has developed and so many people ended up copying Naruto, now the characters that are in here don't really seem as unique as they once were, but Naruto is that perfect shonen protagonist, you know, he's got something to prove, he's cocky, he's loud, he's in your face, he's lovable, he does some things that are really stupid, but you still, at the end of the day, want to see him succeed and get what his dream is. It is so much fun to see him go on this journey. And Sakura, so far, even though Sakura doesn't do anything, and I know the whole meme behind that, like her not doing anything like that, she's still a fun character to watch. I mean, albeit really annoying at times, seeing how she just only goes after Sasuke and really only has that one personality, is that she is struggling behind everybody but thinks she's better, but she loves Sasuke, and that's all she focuses on, which is a really stupid thing for this manga, in my opinion. Like, Naruto likes Sakura, and then Sakura likes Sasuke. It's just like, I get that you can have a character like it, but I think My Hero Academia did a much better job. Obviously, it came out after it, but My Hero Academia with Ochaku, she does a perfect job of a character of her realizing that she likes the main character, but not letting it consume her and be her only personality. And I think that's the biggest problem with Sakura, is that her only personality is that she really likes Sasuke. And now to get on to Sasuke! This guy is our brutish arch rival of Naruto, who is mean, lean, and ready to go. He has a revenge plan, he's got an Avenger story, and he has something to prove like Naruto, but he becomes a lot more serious, and you can really tell that he has a very big power struggle for wanting power. Like, that's all he wants. He wants to be able to do revenge for his family. So far, what I know is that something happened with the Uchiha clan, and I'm not going to spoil it, just in case people don't know, but something happened with the Uchiha clan, which is what Sasuke is a part of, and it is just insane what is going to happen to it, because you can see the threads being laid out. You can see everything starting to connect with Orochimaru and all these other characters. And Orochimaru, who is a big character, I know he has a lot to do with Naruto, and I know he plays a big role throughout the entire story, and just starting to see him get revealed in the tuning exams is awesome. I love seeing his abilities. I love seeing his, like, mindset, how he works. He's a really cool villain. It really makes you hate him, but also really want to know more about him and just dive in deeper. And especially when you get a character like Anko, who is the lead director of the second exam, you get to see that something is involved with her and Orochimaru, and I want to know what more goes on with that, especially with the whole curse that is going on between those two, and like how it got there and what that all means and everything, because there's so many mysterious things and like open holes that I want to just see covered up, so I can finally know what is going on in this story and why he has this curse, what the curse is for, what Orochimaru's plan is. But that's how you make a character good and make a story good, is that you don't tell us everything, but you make me want to know everything, and I cannot wait to keep reading for it. All these characters are so good and so well developed, especially the three main characters of Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto. They're so good to watch their story of this Team 7 go through it. But let's not forget the sensei who is teaching them, and that is Kakashi, the best character in Naruto. I don't care what anybody says. I love Kakashi. I love the mystery behind the Sharingan eye that he has. I don't know how he got it, but obviously it's from the Uchiha clan, and he's not from the Uchiha clan, so that means something happened for him to get it, and I want to know more about it. Obviously, I remember bits and pieces from the anime like a while ago, so I know something happens, but I don't remember exactly, so I need to watch more, and then obviously I'll get to find out eventually. But I want to know more about Kakashi. I love Kakashi. He's so much fun to watch, and him being the powerful ninja that you follow around, he's so lovable. His characteristics are just so perfect and top tier for a shonen series and a shonen teacher. He is the staple of a shonen teacher. He is a perfect teacher. Kakashi is he's the S tier of S tier on this series. He is the lovable guy that everybody wants to be. Everybody is jealous that he's better than them, and he is just without a doubt the undisputed champion of Naruto. So far, I just love Kakashi. It's just such a subjective thing. I don't even care about the other characters. I do, obviously, but, I mean, compared to Kakashi, oh, my dream boy, I love him so much. Now, to get on to the best part of Naruto, the fights. Arguably one of the best parts. I also really like the story, but, you know, they're neck and neck. How good they are. The story and the fights are just both on the same tier that I cannot get enough of either of them. But the fights themselves, let's talk about the first arc, which in my opinion is the best first arc of all time in any manga or anime. Again, it's subjective, but the Zabuza arc is the best thing I have ever seen in an anime or manga, and I instantly fell in love with the villain's sidekick, Haku, and then everything to see Naruto get to where he is, Sasuke get to where he is. Sakura, Kakashi, the village that they're trying to help build the bridge, like the progression that these characters have to go through, the way Haku has to change and like give up his final humanity, and Naruto and Sasuke trying to save him, them doing what they have to do as ninjas. It's just such a good oh my god, the fight itself is just so good when you get to see Haku's power and like that the blood that he has running through him, and then you see that Zabuza was just using him, but you really, at the end of the whole thing, you see that Zabuza shows that even though he's a ninja of the highest caliber and one of the best ninjas of all time, he's still human at the end of the day, and he cannot hide his emotions forever. When you finally get to see him cry, you just break down. Like something like I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, which I will not spoil, but when one of the characters ends up crying in that for a certain reason, the rock that you've been holding on to, which would be Zabuza, obviously Naruto's crying and he's broken and you're already starting to tear up. But when you see the guy who is using Haku finally break down and just show his real emotions for how he really felt about this guy, who was the only one who stuck with him throughout this entire thing. Everyone else tried to backstab him. Everyone else abandoned him. But there was one person, Haku, who stuck with him through it all. And you get to see that he finally opens up to that fact. It's not that he didn't know about it, but as a ninja, you're supposed to hide your feelings and you're supposed to hide it. But at the end of the day, ninjas aren't robots. They're humans just like us. And it's such a cool scene that conveys so much heart and pain within one moment, and that I cannot just get out of my head. It is one of the best scenes ever crafted in an anime, just the end part alone. But if we're going to talk about the build-up, when you first see Kakashi and Zabuza fight, and you get to see Zabuza surprised by the whole Sharingan thing, but then with the second fight, he starts to figure it out, but something really doesn't pan out, and he messes up, and he still gets caught by Kakashi, because he's got a couple of tricks up his sleeve, that little sneaker. But when you get to see the fights themselves just go at it, the whole ninja way, see all their like cool ninjitsu and all this other stuff, Sasuke's fire, Naruto finally awakening part of his Nine-Tails Fox, you get to see the Rasengan, you get to see the dogs that end up showing up, you get to see the cool like water dragon as Kakashi and them are battling each other, copying each other. It's such an action-packed series that you're just like on the edge of your seat. You're like, oh my god, this is really gonna happen. You're like texting your friends about it, you'd be like, did you see the fight this week? Obviously when it was coming out, it's not coming out, but if you're watching with somebody, like, did you see this week's episode, or did you watch the episode that we were supposed to watch this week? It was absolutely epic getting to see Kakashi and Zabuza go at it. It was just such a top tier fight, and they're so good. And then when you finally get further into it, and then you get to see Sasuke and Naruto go up against Orochimaru, is also another insane fight, and it's so good to see these characters. Obviously, you know there's no way they're going to beat Orochimaru, but watching them struggle in vain and not even know who it is or know who Orochimaru is after he reveals himself, and see them kind of get a little bit of surprise on him. Sasuke, even though without his curse, kind of gets a little bit of one up for a second, but obviously Orochimaru finally takes it more serious instead of messing around, and then totally destroys him and does what he wants to do with his plan. But the fight itself is so cool and so fun, and even getting to see the Gaara thing, which isn't a fight when you get to first see what Gaara's Sand does, was still an epic moment. I consider it a fight because he did get challenged, and he just completely dominated that man like he was nothing, an insect, and squashed him like he was powerless and weak, which was insane, even though he was one of the best ninjas out there, the one he was versing. And it was just insane to see how powerful Gaara is, and I want to see more of what's going on with that. But now we're finally getting into the third examination with the Chunin exam, so we get to see a 1v1 fight between a bunch of ninjas. And this, I'm just like, you're just like sitting here, a weeb's just wet dream. You're just like, oh my god, is this what heaven looks like? Did I finally reach heaven? Like I said, the fights in Naruto are just so top tier and so perfect. They are so well paced. They are so well choreographed. You're getting to see all the ninja stuff. I've even seen the videos of, like, towards the end of the series, there's a fight with Kakashi. It's supposed to be one of the best keyframe series of all time, and, like, the whole ninja thing that they've done. But I've never seen it yet, and I don't know what it's about. And obviously, I'm not watching the anime. I'm reading the manga. So it's going to be a little bit different. I might just watch the fight after I'm done with that and just see what it was like in the anime. But having, like what, 1,000 episodes in the anime or reading 700 chapters, it's going to be a lot easier to read that, and then you don't have to worry about filler or anything like that. But I am absolutely loving Naruto. The art is so good. Kishimoto does such a good job. I mean, I am completely in love with the story, the characters, the art. Everything about this series is just so much fun and so perfect. And I get why it's a shonen classic. I get why people love it, and I get everything now. My ninja way is to finish this series and become a ninja like Naruto, to become one of the top tier weaves, the cultured ones, to climb Mount Naruto and get to the top and conquer the Naruto series, because it is so good. It is fantastic. I recommend anybody who has missed out on this series Do not let any hater tell you that this series is bad, because it is not. In my opinion, this is one of the best series of all time as a staple of Shonen Jump. There's a reason it is the 4th best-selling series of all time. It deserves that rank right there. It deserves to even be better. It needs to be like top 3 in my opinion. It is just so good, so top tier. Perfect every time. Perfect fight. Perfect characters. Perfect story. And greater lessons to be learned along the way. When you learn Naruto finally maturing, you get to see Sasuke mature, Sakura mature, Kakashi mature. Everybody in the series has progression to get through, and when you finally learn the lessons that they learn, there's just so much to get from it. Even simple stuff like at the end of the Chunin exam number 2, you get to read that if heaven is what you lack, then go find heaven, or go meditate and get heaven, and if earth is what you lack, then go toil in the sand and gain earth. Something like that. Basically what they're saying is if you lack knowledge, go get more knowledge to equalize your earth, or which would be your strength, and if you lack strength, go work out, go do your thing to even it up, because once you have a balance of both these things, that's when life will become perfect, because you can't be overwhelming in one thing. A balanced life is a life that is able to grant you so many more possibilities than a life that you are just good in one thing and let everything else go out to the side. Because balance is something very important in your life. But not to get into the philosophy of Naruto. Maybe I'll do some more philosophy and cool stuff like that for Naruto if you guys want to see that kind of stuff. And if you want to see some more like off videos of Naruto, tell me in the comments below, and maybe even what kind of things you want to see from it about Naruto. I don't know. I'm open to anything at this point. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed the video. And if you do, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and then comment down below and tell me that you enjoyed this video. It means a lot and lets me know that you guys enjoyed the video. But without further ado, Dubs Not Subs.